The 25th season of Edenton Steamers baseball continues tonight in a home with plenty of history. The legendary historic Hicks Field was built back in 1939 and plays host to the Clams for the 25th consecutive season. It's the home opener here in Edenton as the Steamers take on the Boone Bigfoots, two teams that sit at 1-0. The Steamers heading out to Clayton and beating on the Clovers last night. And the Bigfoots getting another win last night themselves against the Native American national team. Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. I'm Luke Milai. I'll be taking you through all the action today and the rest of the season. Out on the mound for the Steamers is Bryce Stevens, the freshman out of Enterprise State Community College. Pitched in 7 games this year, a bit over 19 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts. Stevens, it'll be his first appearance of the season after the Steamers went 4 pitchers deep last night. Justin Hill, head coach of the Steamers, expects to have a bit more leeway with his rotation tonight. And for the Bigfoots, it'll be Jack Batchmore out of the University of Lynchburg. The junior pitched in 21 games, started 9 times with an ERA just under 2. And he pitched above 71 innings this season over at Lynchburg. It's going to be a big matchup between those two. The Steamers only allowing 1 run last night to the Clovers. The Bigfoots only allowing 3. But the real story for both sides was their offensive firepower. The Steamers with a big 5-run game, including 4 in the first 3 innings that really set them ahead for good against the Clovers. That was mostly fueled by a couple of extra base hits from Jackson Hipp and Houston Wright. A solo shot by Jared Beebe later in the 8th really set the Steamers ahead for good. And for the Bigfoots, they were in a close one with the Native American national team yesterday in a 3-run game going to the 5th. But it was an 8-run bottom of the 5th inning that put them ahead by 11 and put them ahead for good. 12 hits last night for the Bigfoots, 13 for the Steamers. The Bigfoots 1-0 at home, the Steamers 1-0 on the road. Someone's going to get their first win here at historic Hicks Field tonight. Now batting for the Bigfoots, leading off is Tylen Reese playing second. Batting second is Matthew Mccowan out in left. Batting third is Dylan Baycott out in right. Tyson Bass is the cleanup man playing third for the Bigfoots. Walter Monday batting fifth over at first. Drifton Paget out in center. Dallas Trevina designated hitting for Boone. Josh Seiler at short and Jaden Barker catching and batting ninth for the Bigfoots. For the Steamers, another mixed up lineup a bit. Justin Hill still trying to get a gauge on who he likes and who will eventually be in that everyday lineup. I'd expect we're going to split the game in half again just like he did last night, with some guys and most of these starters playing the first 5 innings and then a flurry of subs to play the final 4. Leading off for the second straight night, he played all 9 innings yesterday. Chase Bruno over at short. Alden Cottle makes the move from third over to second base, batting second tonight for the Clams. Houston Wright right back in that designated hitter spot, batting third. Jeremiah Boyd, the catcher, batting cleanup for Edenton. He's followed up by Jared Beebe over at third. Tate Abbott at first. Brantley Cutler in right. Tyler West in left. And Davis Halstead, the hometown kid, out in center field. It is sure to be a good one tonight. A packed house here at historic Hicks Field. We're just about 10 minutes away from the first pitch between the Boone Bigfoots and the Edenton Steamers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It is time for some baseball here at Historic Hicks Field. Thank you so much for joining us on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Bryce Stevens out on the mound for the Clams, the right-hander out of Enterprise State Community College. Comes over as a middle reliever, but he's got the ability to go deeper into games, and he's getting the start here today. You won't expect him to go too deep into this ball game. Justin Hill last night only had his guys go a max of 3 innings apiece. We saw Blake Gibson go 3 innings. Tyrus Bumgardner came in relief first and going 3 innings as well of scoreless baseball before Jacob Lawler came in for 2 and Cole Bates pitched the final inning. So Justin Hill, as mentioned in the pregame, still trying to figure things out. The starting lineup isn't necessarily a starting lineup for the season. Still would expect these guys to play about 5 innings tonight, and then a majority of the subs will re-enter the game for the final 4 innings. And we're just a few more warm-up pitches away from this matchup between the Edenton Steamers and the Boone Bigfoots. Each team with 1 game under their belt. The Steamers winning out in Clayton last night. The Bigfoots hosting and taking down the Native American national team 13-3. Jeremiah Boyd sends that one all the way down to second, and that means we are about ready to go. Batting first for the Bigfoots, Tylen Reese playing over at second base today and leading off for Boone. It's a Boone offense that can explode in a hurry. We saw them last night have 3 runs through the first 5 innings, and an 8-run 5th inning really blew their game wide open as the first pitch of the night is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. And that one's a bit outside. 1-1 the count. Stevens working quickly here on the first batter of the night. Swing and a miss from Reese. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch from Stevens. Swing and a miss. A strikeout on the first batter for Bryce Stevens. And there's 1 away here in the first. That'll bring Matthew Mccowan up to the plate. Stevens' offering is a bit outside. 1-0 the count. That one is fouled back. It'll be 0-2. Mccowan out in left field today for the Bigfoots. The sophomore out of George Washington, trying to avoid being Stevens' second victim. As that one is chopped slowly down the third base line and fouled, will remain 0-2. Stevens has an knack for striking guys out, and he tallied at least 3 strikeouts in 3 of his 7 appearances this spring. Here's the 0-2. That one is slashed down the first base line, and it tailed just foul. And Mccowan will make that long jog back to the box. It's the home opener here at Historic Hicks Field, a place that the Steamers have played all their home games for all 25 seasons of their existence, built back in 1939. Stevens is ready. The pitch. Called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to open things up for Bryce Stevens, and there's 2 away in the first. Dylan Baycott will come up to the plate, playing right field today for the Bigfoots. 51 games this season at UNC Asheville. Baycott hit .266. Stevens is ready. The pitch. Taken in there for a strike, 0-1. Stevens pounding the zone so far. Stevens slowly back on the rubber. An 0-1 count. The pitch. Out a bit outside. Boyd reaches out to get it. 1-1 the count. Jeremiah Boyd back behind the plate. Had a hit last night in relief of Case Kermode, one of 6 substitutions that Coach Hill made in the 6th inning in Clayton. And that one's in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. Stevens looking for his 3rd strikeout. He's got his sign. The 1-2 pitch. Lined over to 3rd. That'll be handled by and throw it over to 1st in time. Nice play by Beebe over at 3rd, and that'll retire the side. A 1-2-3 1st inning for Bryce Stevens and the Clams. We head to the bottom of the 1st. Steamers up to bat. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field, where the Steamers are getting set to bat. It is nearly a packed house here in Edenton. One of the best showings you'll see at one of the best shows in town. And if you want to get your support on the new 2022 Edenton Steamers merchandise has arrived. There are plenty of ways for you to pick up your new Steamers gear. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and place an order, stop by Sound Feet Shoes of Edenton, or head to the merchandise trailer located behind the first base dugout at historic Hicks Field. You can also pick up some of the brand new Chowan County Cantaloupes gear, but only at historic Hicks Field. Thank you for your support and repping your Steamers gear. Chase Bruno up to bat first for the Steamers. He had a wonderful day last night in Clayton, a 3-for-5 effort, including a 2-run single that really broke things open for the Steamers. Bruno, one of 11 returners for Edenton. He swings at the first pitch he sees, and he sends that one foul, 0-1 the count. Jack Batchmore out there on the bump for the Bigfoots. The junior out of the University of Lynchburg, and that one's chopped right back over his head. Over to short, it's bobbled for a moment, throw to first, not in time. It goes all the way to the fence, and Bruno will be aboard. We saw Bruno leg out an infield single last night. It was an awkward throw, but you'd sure think that the speed of Bruno had something to do with it. And that one will be marked out as an error, but Bruno aboard as Alden Cottle comes to the plate. Batchmore now from the stretch. Looks at Bruno. Here's the first pitch, and a swing and a miss from Cottle, 0-1. The 0-1 to Cottle, and it's thrown over to first. Bruno's back easily. Cottle, one of the many Steamers that had a great night, and Clayton, he went 2 for 3 with a run batted in against the Clovers. And he leaves that offering outside. The count's 1-1. Cottle, one of a few Steamers out of the University of Mount Olive. The sophomore played in 54 games this season, 67 hits in the spring. And he chops that one back to Batchmore. An athletic play to get it. Throws to short for 1. Over to first. A scoop, not in time. Cottle's over at first, but they do get the lead runner in Bruno. A nice play by Seiler to handle the throw down at second, but he couldn't quite get Cottle. Designated hitter Houston Wright up to the plate now for the Clams. Had a double in his first at bat yesterday in Clayton. First pitch. He'll swing and knock it down the third base line. Going towards the corner, it'll float out of play and foul. 0-1. Last night, Wright picked up right where he left off in 2020, the Premier Collegiate League MVP. The Giesecke Gold Award winner in 2020, given to the Steamers MVP each season. Here's the 0-1 to Wright. He'll leave that one. That's in there for a strike. 0-2. Wright only played in 15 games this spring for the University of Tennessee Martin. An injury, but he is back and ready to go here for the Clams. The 0-2. That one is fouled back and out of play by Wright. Wright, as mentioned, played here in 2020 and intended to return to Edenton in 2021, but it was another injury that held him out for the summer. He's very excited to make his return to historic Hicks Field. He'll send that one the other way and through the hole for a base hit. The Steamers have 2 aboard here in the bottom of the first. Wright picking up right where he left off, and that'll bring Jeremiah Boyd up to the plate. Boyd, as mentioned, came in relief for Case Kermode last night, added a single, and some solid play behind the plate. Boyd comes up with 2 men on against Batchmore. Only 1 out here in the first. And that one's in there for a strike. 0-1. Boyd, in the few moments of practice and batting practice he's had here at historic Hicks Field, he's hit really well these last few days. We've gotten to see him in action over the first couple of days of practice, and he'll line that one into the gap in right center field. That'll get down for a hit. Cottle's being waved around third. He's going to come in to score right over to third, and the Steamers are out ahead 1-0. It's an RBI single for Jeremiah Boyd, and the Clams have the early lead. A couple of opposite field hits here early for the Clams. Houston Wright went out to left field, and Boyd slashed that one over to right center. Looking to keep the line going is Jared Beebe. Only had 1 at bat last night, but he made the most of it, sending it over the left field fence. Beebe lets that one go by for a strike. Last night he swung at the first pitch he saw, so you'd certainly expect him to take a couple more pitches and see it out of the hand of Batchmore today. And that one's on the outside corner. A quick 0-2 count to Beebe. Beebe out of Barton College, his first season with the Clams. A swing and a miss, that one high and away, and it gets Beebe. That's the second out of the inning. It'll bring Tate Abbott to the plate with men at the corners. Abbott started over at first base last night, and he's right back there again today. Abbott with a big opportunity with right over at third. Abbott swinging at the first pitch, sends that one fouled on the third base side, 0-1. Abbott out of Catawba Valley Community College, redshirt freshman this season. Hasn't had a lot of at-bats this spring, only 6 at-bats since March. As he fouls that one straight back. Abbott looking to get that swing back here over the summer. And what better place to do it in a ballpark like historic Hicks Field. Certainly hitter friendly, especially to a left-hander, 298 down that right field line. Here's the 0-2. Called strike 3, and Batchmore works his way out of trouble, but the Steamers do get on the board. It's an RBI single from Jeremiah Boyd, and it's Edenton 1, Bigfoot 0. We'll head to the second. Welcome back to Edenton Steamers Baseball here on the Edenton Steamers YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us, but you've got to get out here to historic Hicks Field. We just had a thrilling game in between innings, a water balloon toss over on the third base side in front of the Steamers dugout. A lot of fun for the family and for kids of all ages here at historic Hicks Field. We're underway in the second inning. Bryce Stevens back on the mound. His first pitch inside, 1-0 the count. Tyson Bass, the third baseman, batting cleanup today for the Bigfoot. A check swing, chops it right to Stevens. He'll take that one over to first and toss to Abbott for the first out of the second. Nothing's been easy against Bryce Stevens so far. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of ground outs. And Stevens has kept that pitch count low, certainly something that would pleasure head coach Justin Hill. We'll see how long he gives Stevens before he starts to roll through his bullpen. Stevens' first pitch a bit outside to Monday. Walter Monday over at first for the Bigfoots today. Out of Transylvania University, the sophomore. Hit .455 in 36 games this season. That one is chopped on the first baseline, foul, 1-1 the count. Stevens has done a good job throwing strikes. He's even 1-1 in the count. Here's the pitch. That one is chopped foul right on home plate, 1-2 the count. Bryce Stevens has the ability to go deeper into games. His longest appearance of the spring was 8 innings back in March. When you give him that much time, he'll tally up the Ks. 7 strikeouts for Stevens in that one. Swing and a miss at a pitch low. Boyd able to handle it. Throw over to first. Completes the strikeout. 2 down here in the second. The third strikeout already for Bryce Stevens. We saw one of those situations last night where a strikeout was just so high it went over the glove of Jeremiah Boyd, and they actually weren't able to get the runner at first. This time, Boyd does a good job of handling the ball and getting the throw over to Abbott. That pitch is in there for a strike to Drifton Paget. Paget out of NC Wesleyan, the junior. Down in the count 0-1. He'll sky that one out down the first base line. Abbott avoids the umpire as he tries, but it'll drift all the way out of play. Abbott was following the ball but had to dodge the first base umpire over there on the first base line, and the ball eventually drifted out of play, but it's an 0-2 count. Stevens looking for his second straight clean inning. The 0-2 pitch coming to Paget. Just got a piece of it, fouls it straight back. 0-2 remains the count. Paget, another solid spring for one of these Bigfoots. He hit .368 over at NC Wesleyan this spring. The 0-2. That one is floated out towards short. Bruno's there, and he makes the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Stevens as the Bigfoots go down. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Steamers lead 1-0. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field here in Edenton, North Carolina. If you're looking to travel out here, the Steamers are proud to announce that Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the team for the 2022 season. Venture Tours Incorporated is a family-owned business specializing in motor coach transportation. The owners have been in the motor coach industry for more than 40 years. A mixture of hard work and family legacy helped to create Venture Tours, Inc., one of the most successful motor coach companies in Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit venturebustours.com. Brantley Cutler leading off for the Steamers in the bottom of the second. He'll take that one for a strike. 0-1 the count. Batchmore quickly back to work. That one's in there for strike. Oh, they called a bit outside. They were looking for a call. 1-1 the count. Batchmore right back to work. This one inside. 2-1 the count to Cutler. That one is chopped down the first base line and foul by Cutler. 2-2 the count. Cutler came in relief last night in Clayton, made a big catch out in right field to halt a Clover's rally and preserve a Steamers lead. That is swung on and missed. Strike 3 to Cutler. One down here in the second. And that'll bring up Tyler West. Playing out in left field. Following the third strikeout of the game so far for Batchmore. Tyler West came in relief, still looking for his first hit as a Steamer. That one's taken for a ball. 1-0 the count. West leaves that one alone. Batchmore quickly going to work against West out of Mccowan University, the sophomore. Ahead in the count. He'll chop that one back to Batchmore. Makes a nice play over his head. Throw to first is in time. A nice play there from Batchmore to retire West, and that'll bring up Davis Halstead, playing on a field that he is so familiar with. Played over at John A. Holmes High School here in Edenton. The senior this year. In his first summer with the Steamers, he'll leave that one outside. Halstead, one of two high school graduates joining the team this summer. Tanner Thatch over at Perquimans High School is coming as soon as their season wraps up. And he takes that one for a strike, 1-1. Batchmore's ready to go as Halstead is set. That one's up and away, 2-1. Halstead will head to the University of Mount Olive in the fall and play there over in the spring as he fouls that one back, 2-2 the count. Halstead looking to keep the second inning alive for Edenton. The pitch. Called strike three. Looked like it might have been a bit outside. It's the fourth strikeout of the game for Batchmore. It gets Halstead looking, and that'll wrap up the second inning. We will head to inning number 3. The Steamers still on top, 1-0. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field as we're set to begin the third inning here between the Bigfoots and the Steamers. Bryce Stevens out there for his third straight inning. He's retired all 6 batters he's faced, struck out 3 of them. Designated hitter Dallas Trevino will step up to the plate as he destroys the back of that right-handed batter's box. Digging a deep hole for his right foot. He's ready to go against Stevens. The first pitch to Trevino is swung on and skied to right field. Cutler will waltz in, battling the sun. He'll make the catch. 1 down here in the third. Stevens throwing a lot of strikes and working quickly here against the Bigfoots. That'll bring up Josh Seiler over at short. First pitch to Seiler. That'll be taken for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Seiler, the freshman from Trevecca University, down 0-1 in the count. That one's down low, 1-1. This spring, Seiler only had 4 total at-bats, didn't get a hit. Looking to revamp himself this summer with the Bigfoots. Here's the 1-1. Swing and miss, 1-2. Stevens is ready to go. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Boyd just trying to finish it off. Over to Abbott in time. The second strikeout that Boyd's had to finish off over at first. The fourth strikeout so far for Stevens. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Jaden Barker. Barker behind the plate today for the Bigfoots. The first pitch from Stevens. In there for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. That one is chopped over to third, handled by Beebe. He'll take a couple strides, throw to first is in time. Another 1-2-3 inning for Bryce Stevens. He's knocked out all 9 hitters he's faced. We'll head to the bottom half of the third. The Steamers ahead 1-0. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field here for the bottom half of the third between the Steamers and the Bigfoots. The Edenton Steamers and the Edenton Aces are excited to join forces as the Edenton Baseball Club. The Edenton Baseball Club's mission is to raise money to benefit historic Hicks Field and contribute to the longevity of our beautiful facility. On Saturday, June 18th, the Steamers will be wearing special themed jerseys that bear the logo of the Steamers and the Aces. The jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and the proceeds from this jersey auction will directly benefit projects going on inside historic Hicks Field. We appreciate your support of our historic homestand. Mentioned earlier that historic Hicks Field, built back in 1939, the longest standing original grandstand in North Carolina. The Steamers will be back at the top of the order here to begin the third inning. Chase Bruno will come back up to the plate. Reached on an error his first time up. Batchmore back out there for his third inning of work for the Bigfoots. Chase Bruno. Bruno 3 for 5 last night, and Clayton made all the defensive plays as well. He'll step in against Batchmore. The first pitch. A bit high, 1-0 the count. Batchmore's 1-0 on the outside half, 1-1. Seems like that outside pitch to righties has been given and called as a strike to both sides so far as Bruno swings and fouls that one back on the first base side, 1-2. We've already seen both teams show a bit of their dismay with the home plate umpire here on that exact pitch to the right side of home plate. The 1-2 from Batchmore. Outside as Barker tried to do a bit of a frame job there. It'll be 2-2. Batchmore ready to go. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Bruno strikes out swinging for the first out here in the third. That'll bring Alden Cottle up to the plate. Reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Cottle in the box, looking to get things going against Batchmore. Cottle leaves that one up high, 1-0 the count. Cottle a pair of hits and a run batted in last night in Clayton. He'll leave that one. It's across for a strike, 1-1 the count. Batchmore back on the bump. Here's the pitch. That one's outside. 2-1 to Cottle. A big swing and a miss there from Cottle. 2-2 now the count. Alden, another one of those guys in his first season here in Edenton. Here's the 2-2. That one is just a bit outside. That's the pitch that he's been giving to both sides so far. This time it's called a ball. Full count now to Cottle. And a swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Batchmore. The 6th strikeout already for Jack Batchmore. And that'll bring Houston Wright up to the plate. Singled his first time up. Wright, a multi-hit game last night in Clayton. Looking to do more of the same here today. Here's the pitch from Batchmore. Up high, 1-0 the count. Wright standing in, the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch, and it's fouled off the nub of the bat by Wright. 1-1 the count. Houston Wright back in 2020, played in 27 games here in Edenton as he leaves that one high for a ball. 2-1. Wright knocked in 51 runs and hit 456, both franchise records here for a single season with the Steamers. That one just picks up a piece of the outside corner. 2-2 the count. Batchmore back out on the bump. The 2-2. Way inside to right. He's able to get out of the way. Full count now to Houston. Batchmore works at a rapid pace that's already allowed him to tally up 6 strikeouts. And a swing and a miss, make it number 7. Jack Batchmore with 7 strikeouts through 3 innings. We'll head to the 4th. The Steamers still lead 1-0. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field, where we have a Sam the Clam sighting, throwing t-shirts out to the crowds. Many kids in the crowd tonight. The Edenton Steamers are excited to announce that they will be hosting 2 youth baseball camps this summer. This year's camp dates are June 15th through the 17th and July 13th through the 15th. Young ball players between the ages of 5 and 13 are welcome. The cost is $100 to register, and your kid will receive first-class instruction from some of the best college baseball players around. Visit EdentonSteamers.com to register today. Certainly a lot of fun at baseball camp, and it's a lot of fun here at Historic Hicks Field as we are already into the top of the 4th inning. Bryce Stevens is back out for his 4th inning of work. Tylen Reese, the leadoff man for the Bigfoots, is back up to bat. Stevens has faced the minimum of 9 hitters through 3 innings so far. We've talked about Batchmore's 7 strikeouts. Stevens has 4 of his own. That one a bit inside, 1-0 the count. Reese struck out swinging his first time up against Stevens. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and smashed down the left field line, and it's a fair ball to go all the way to the corner. Back to get it is Tyler West, but Reese will stroll into second with a stand-up double. The The first base runner to reach tonight for the Bigfoots, the first hit of the game for Boone. And that'll bring Matthew Mccowan to the plate with a runner in scoring position. Mccowan out in center field today for the Bigfoots. Knocked in 17 runs this spring at George Washington. And he'll leave the first pitch outside, 1-0 the count. Mccowan, the sophomore, standing in against Stevens. The 1-0. That one picks up the outside corner, 1-1 the count. Tyler Reese getting a hefty lead down over at second base. He only stole 3 bases this spring, but his secondary lead certainly gets halfway down the line as that one splits the legs of Boyd, and that'll take Reese over to third. Runner over at third, nobody out for the Bigfoots. A prime opportunity for Matthew Mccowan. The first bit of trouble Bryce Stevens has seen today. He retired the first 9 batters he faced through 3 innings. Here's the 2-1. Chopped over towards third and foul. Stevens, one of those two-way guys for the Steamers, played second base last night. He's on the mound today, and he racks up his 5th strikeout. A big pitch to strike out Mccowan for the 2nd time tonight. And that'll bring up Dylan Baycott with a runner over at third. Still only 1 out. That one's inside to Baycott, 1-0. The start for the Steamers resembling a bit of last night with some great pitching from Blake Gibson, who went the first 3 innings, allowed just 1 run. Stevens is ready, the 1-0. That's a called strike in there, 1-1 the count. Baycott, the junior out of UNC Asheville. He's ready to go. The 1-1 pitch. Check swing. They're going to say he went 1-2 the count. Stevens trying to work around a leadoff double to Tylen Reese. And then a pitch that went through the legs of Boyd that moved Reese over to third. Here's the 1-2. A called strike 3. Another strikeout. That's number 6 for Bryce Stevens. And there's 2 away here in the top half of the 4th. Stevens 1 batter away from working out of trouble. Tyson Bass will come up to the plate for the Bigfoots. Grounded out his first time up. Bass skies that one down the left field line and out of play near the Steamers bullpen. And he's down in the count 0-1. Bass might have chipped a piece of his bat on that one. They're over to check it out at the Bigfoot's dugout. They're going to give him a couple of bats to choose from, and he's got the one he wants. The long trot back to home. Bass down 0-1. Jeremiah Boyd sharing something with him. Smiles on both of their faces as he's ready to step back into the box. 0-1 the count to Bass. Tylen Reese over at third, 2 outs here in the fourth. Here's the 0-1. And that one's a bit low, 1-1 the count. Stevens trying to make it through his fourth inning of work here in his first appearance of the season. The pitch. That one is skied out towards left. West ranging back towards the wall, looking up, and that ball is gone. A 2-run home run for Tyson Bass puts the Bigfoots ahead 2-1. Bryce Stevens nearly worked out of that jam, but Tyson Bass with his second bat of the at-bat is able to take that one over the left field fence. The Steamers now playing from behind for the first time this season. And that'll bring Walter Monday to the plate, batting fifth over at first for the Bigfoots. He's first pitch swinging, fouls that one straight back and out of play, 0-1. That one was up there for a while on the home run from Bass and just traveled over that left field fence. There's a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. It hit that top part of the wall and sort of bounced over before the third base umpire ruled it a home run. Here's the 0-2 from Stevens. In the dirt, 1-2. Stevens trying to wrap up what's been a solid outing so far. Ahead in the count, 1-2 to Walter Monday. Here's the pitch. Swinging and just chopped over to the first base side near the Bigfoots dugout. Count remains 1-2. Monday struck out swinging his first time up against Stevens. One of 6 strikeouts for Bryce on the day. Monday, the sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky. He's ready, the 1-2. Fouled off again. The third straight foul ball, the at-bat for Monday. He's trying to make Stevens work here as we approach the end of the top half of the fourth. Here's the 1-2. That one's a bit low, 2-2. A good at-bat here for Monday. Monday had a .455 on-base percentage this spring at Transylvania University. That's nearly half the time. Here's the pitch. Swung on and miss. Another strikeout. Boyd applies the tag. It's the 7th strikeout of the game for Bryce Stevens. But the Bigfoots get a pair of runs on a 2-run blast from Tyson Bass. We head to the bottom half of the fourth. It's the Bigfoots 2 and the Steamers 1. The Albemarle Area United Way is a nonprofit organization that improves residents' lives in 9 counties throughout northeastern North Carolina. This year, the Steamers have partnered up with the United Way and are looking to help raise money for their services. On Friday, July 2nd, the Steamers will be wearing specially themed patriotic jerseys for the game. The jerseys will be auctioned off during the game, and all proceeds will go back to the Albemarle Area United Way. If you would like to have this one-of-a-kind jersey, be sure to be here that night and support a good cause. A huge thank you to H2O BX Water Park for making this night possible. for the Albemarle Area United Way. A reminder, that game's on Friday, July 2nd to get those specially auctioned jerseys. Welcome back here to historic Hicks Field. The Boone Bigfoots took the lead on a 2-run home run from Tyson Bass in the top half of the fourth. And Jeremiah Boyd will come up to the plate. Knocked in the only run of the day for Edenton, a single out towards right center field. The pitch from Batchmore in there for a strike. Batchmore has done a really good job. He's tallied up 7 strikeouts as Boyd fouls that one straight back. Dating back to the second inning, Batchmore struck out the last 4 batters he's faced. He's ahead in the count 0-2 here to Boyd. The pitch. That one's high and away, 1-2. Jeremiah Boyd came in relief last night, but he started today. He'll chop that one foul on the first base side. Count remains 1-2. Batchmore has to be one of the fastest working pitchers you will find. Seems like as soon as he gets the ball back into his glove, he's right on the rubber, ready to go. That quick pace could be throwing off the Steamers hitters a bit. Found some success with a couple of hits early, but none since the first inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Batchmore, strikeout number 8. That's also the 5th consecutive strikeout for Jack Batchmore. Jared Beebe will come up to the plate looking to break that streak for Batchmore. Beebe sends that one towards the middle. It'll drop in for a base hit. Jared Beebe with the first hit since the first inning for Edenton. And the Clams have a man aboard with just 1 out here in the 4th. Tate Abbott will come up to the plate with a runner over at first. He struck out his first time up. Lefty on lefty. Abbott takes that one inside, 1-0. Abbott had about 5 or 6 balls hit to him last night in Clayton and swallowed up every one. A big part of the win last night against the Clovers. And he'll rope that one down the first base line. And they're going to call it a foul ball. It sure was close. Looked like it might have hopped over the first base bag, but first base umpire right there says it went a bit foul. It'll be a 1-1 count and a long walk back for Tate Abbott. Abbott played in 24 games at Catawba Valley Community College this season. We mentioned didn't hit too much, only 6 at bats since March. 8 hits over the spring as Batchmore checks back in on Beebe. A 1-1 count to Abbott. Here's the pitch. That one is sent right back up the middle and handled nicely. A glove flip to second for 1, over to first in time for a double play. What a play by Tylen Reese. Over at second, a backhanded flip to Josh Seiler. A barehanded catch and throw over to first. One of the most impressive double plays you'll see, and that'll take us to the 5th. It's the Bigfoots 2, the Steamers 1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field. We've got a pitching change on the mound for the Steamers. Cameron Lewis is into the game. Lewis out of West Virginia State University. We saw his two WVSU teammates last night. Nate Paulson played center field, had a base hit. Tyrus Bumgardner went 3 scoreless innings on the mound. So now it's Lewis's turn to make his Steamer debut. And he'll be working against the back half of the order for the Bigfoots. It'll be Drifton Paget leading off. As we're just about ready to go here in the top of the 5th inning. Jeremiah Boyd still out there behind the plate. Most of the Steamers still in their starting spots. We know that Justin Hill is going to make some subs today. Made those subs after the 5th inning last night in Clayton. Trying to split the guys up with 5 and 4 innings apiece. It'll be Lewis against Paget to start the 5th. First pitch is a bit high, 1-0. Lewis pitched in 8 games this spring for West Virginia State. The 1-0's a bit high, 2-0 the count. Had an ERA of just under 5. Pitched just over 11 innings. Wasn't ready to go yesterday, but he is here as the second man on the mound for Edenton today. So that one's up and in, 3-0 the count. Bryce Stevens' day wraps up. 4 innings pitched, 1 run or 2 runs allowed on the 2-run home run to Tyson Bass. So 3-0's in there for a strike, 3-1 the count. Stevens nearly a flawless day. Racked up 7 strikeouts over those 4 innings. It was just that 1 home run that really tainted it. There's a swing and a miss, 3-2 the count. Full count now here for Paget. Lewis trying to work back from down 3-0. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. The count remains full, 3-2. A long look in here from Lewis. Full count with Paget. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4, and that'll put a runner on for the Bigfoots. Leadoff man aboard. That's the first walk of the night issued from a Steamers pitcher. That'll bring Dallas Trevina up to the plate. Flew out his first time up against Stevens. Lewis was on a bit of a hot streak to end his spring at West Virginia State. Ended the spring with 3 straight scoreless appearances. So that first pitch is up high, 1-0 the count. Looking to keep that momentum going. A 1-0 count. That one's in up high for a ball, and they throw back to first. Boyd nearly picked him off. Lewis is ready down in the count. That one is swung on and nailed down the third base line, and they call it foul. That one, a narrow miss, maybe even a makeup call for the play we saw down the first base line with Tate Abbott earlier back in the fourth. It'll make the count 2-1 here to Trevina, the designated hitter out of Chowan University.
Houston, we have a problem.
He hit .279 this spring, 36 hits. Trevina trying to keep the line moving here in the fifth. Lewis is set. Here's the pitch. That one's up and in. It got a piece of Trevina's shoulder. And a walk and a hit by pitch puts two aboard for the Bigfoots. Already with a 2-1 lead, nobody out. Here in the fifth, that'll bring Josh Seiler to the plate. Seiler struck out swinging his first time up against Stevens. Lewis trying to limit the damage here with a pair of runners reaching to begin the inning. That one's in there for a strike. A big pitch for Lewis, what got behind the first two batters he faced in 3-0 and 2-0 counts. This time he's out ahead of Seiler 0-1. That one is chopped over to third. Beebe's in to get it. Tags third for one. Throws over to first in time. A big double play produced by Jared Beebe. And now there's two down here in the fifth. That is an absolute pitcher's dream if you're Cameron Lewis. First two batters get on with a walk and a hit by pitch, and a great defensive play from Beebe there. Now the only runner on the base path's over at second. It's Dallas Trevina out there. Back to the top of the order, or right at the bottom, it's Barker hitting to short. It's fielded and thrown to first in time by Bruno. Cameron Lewis works in and out of trouble. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Bigfoots 2, the Steamers 1. Welcome back to historic Hicks Field here in Edenton, North Carolina for the bottom of the fifth between the Boone Bigfoots and the Edenton Steamers. Venture Tours is excited to announce the return of their Atlantic City Casino Day trips. You don't have to break your piggy bank to visit Atlantic City for the day. Tickets are $85 and you must be 21 years or older to participate. The trip includes $35 in free slot play at Resorts Casino. These Saturday trips offer exciting escorted trips where you can ride in comfort and luxury. If you're interested in traveling with Venture Tours, give them a call at 757-494-1480 or visit VentureBusTours.com. Venture Tours is the official travel partner of the Steamers for the 2022 season. Brantley Cutler coming up to the plate for the Steamers, his second at-bat of the day. Struck out his first time up, and it's Jack Batchmore out there for his fifth consecutive inning of work. That first pitch is up for a ball, 1-0. Batchmore got the start for the Bigfoots, and he's rolled so far. That one's on the inside corner. Cutler a bit surprised there. The count moves to 1-1. Batchmore ready to go. The 1-1 pitch. Cutler leaves it, and it's on the outside corner, 1-2. Man, it seems like they're giving Batchmore both sides of the plate a little bit extra. It's 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. That one is chopped the other way by Cutler over to short. Handled by Seiler on the run. A throw to first in time to get Cutler. Cutler's speed made it close, but a nice effort from Josh Seiler. And that'll bring up Tyler West out in left field today for the Steamers. Grounded out his first time up. Batchmore ready to go. Here's the pitch. That one on the outside corner. A strike, 0-1. And that one, another called strike for Batchmore. He's quickly ahead in the count. Here's the pitch. That one is knocked out towards shallow right center field, drifting over and making the play out and right is Baycott. 2 down here in the 5th. West threw his bat out at it. It drifted a bit deeper than I thought, and Baycott and Paget got right next to each other, and it was Baycott that eventually made the call and made the catch. 2 quick outs here in the 5th for the Steamers. That'll bring up Davis Halstead. Davis still looking for his first hit in the teal and black. He'll leave that one as it's out there for a strike, 0-1. That one's way outside, 1-1 the count. Batchmore ran into some trouble in the first inning as time is called. Gave up a pair of hits and an early run on an RBI single from Jeremiah Boyd back in the opening frame. But since then, the Steamers have only mustered 1 hit. A swing and a miss there from Halstead. It's 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on, chopped over to short. Seiler's in to get it. He'll throw from the infield grass in time to retire Halstead. A quick 1-2-3 inning to wrap up the 5th. We head to the 6th. It's the Bigfoots 2, the Steamers 1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field here in the top of the 6th. And we've got some substitutions from Justin Hill, just as we expected here in the 6th inning, just as he did last night in Clayton. Flip-flopping the whole outfield. Hunter Cole's in for Tyler West out in left. Nate Paulson out there in center in for Davis Halstead. And Jackson Hipp enters for Brantley Cutler in right. That one is a called strike. It's caught by Case Kermode, who's also another substitute in for Jeremiah Boyd. Boyd knocked in the only run of the day for Edenton. Cameron Lewis back on the mound for his second inning of work. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike, 0-2 the count. It'll be Tylen Reese, the leadoff man, back up to the plate for the Bigfoots. Doubled his last time up, struck out his first time up. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes for Cameron Lewis. 1 down here in the 6th. The first strikeout of the night for Lewis. Lewis racked up 7 strikeouts in his 11 innings at West Virginia State this spring. And there's his pitch, and that one's in there for a swinging strike. 0-1 the count to Mccowan. Matthew Mccowan, not one of his better nights. He struck out twice so far, both against Bryce Stevens. That one is chopped, third base side, and foul as Beebe ranged over to get it. 0-2 the count now to Mccowan. Cameron Lewis in relief for Bryce Stevens, who started this game, went 4 innings, allowed 2 runs on a 2-run shot off the bat of Tyson Bass back in the 4th. That one is chopped over to third again, and again it's a bit foul as Beebe over to get it right back in the glove of Lewis. McCowan out a bit in front of these last 2 pitches. He sits down in the count 0-2. Lewis is ready. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and floated out towards center. Ranging in is Paulson, and he'll make the running grab. 2 down here in the 6th, and that'll bring up Dylan Baycott. Baycott 0 for 2 tonight with a ground out and a strikeout. Lewis 2 quick outs to begin the 6th. A much better start than the 5th, where the first 2 runners got on with a walk and a hit by pitch. That one took something off it there, and it drops in for a strike, 0-1. It was a big double play facilitated by Beebe over at third, stepping on the bag and throwing over to first that really got the Steamers out of trouble in the 5th. So that one's fouled straight back, a quick 0-2 count. Cameron Lewis has Baycott in the hole. Baycott struck out 45 times in 51 games at UNC Asheville this spring. He struck out once already tonight. And a swing and a miss. He struck out for the 2nd time. Lewis tallies 2 strikeouts in the inning. And a quick 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Lewis and the Steamers. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th. Steamers still trail 2-1. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field, where tonight, obviously any home opener is always a big night, but it goes a bit deeper than that. It's fireworks night here at Historic Hicks Field. The Edenton Steamers are the greatest show in town, and they make it even better with 3 fireworks shows scheduled for the summer. You can catch these shows on Saturday, June 4th, which is today, Saturday, July 2nd, and Saturday, July 30th. Mark your calendars, and we will see you at the ballpark. You know, it's only the bottom of the 6th inning. There's still plenty of time to get down here for these fireworks, which take place right outside center field at the conclusion of this game. Jack Batchmore out on the mound for the Bigfoots in his 6th inning of work. And the Steamers looking to get something going. It'll be Chase Bruno leading off for the Clams. Bruno up to bat for the 3rd time tonight. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first at bat. And he'll send that one right back up the middle, a base hit. The first pitch he saw is laced into center. And Chase Bruno starts off the 6th inning on the right foot for the Clams. And that'll bring up Alden Cottle with a man over at first. Still nobody out. That's the 4th hit of the night for Edenton after a 13-hit game last night in Clayton. Patchmore's pitch is a bit outside. 1-0 the count to Cottle. Alden Cottle 0 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice. Struck out his last at bat. Here's the 1-0. That one is skied out towards right field. Ranging back is Baycott. He'll make the catch on the edge of the track. And there's one down here in the 6th. Houston Wright will come up to the plate with the Steamers in need of some hits. They got a base runner over at first. That's Chase Bruno. Houston Wright 1 for 2 today. Had a single in his first at bat. Struck out his last time up. Throw over to first. Bruno back in easily. Batchmore, he's tallied up 8 strikeouts so far tonight in his 6th inning of work. Got the start for the Bigfoots. And Wright slams that first pitch right into right field for a single. Bruno's going to hold it second. And there's 2 runners aboard now with only 1 out here in the 6th. Second hit of the day for Houston Wright. Had a pair of hits last night with a double and a single against Clayton.
17, Case Kermode.
Case Kermode coming to the plate for the first time today. And he swings and misses at the first pitch he saw. 0-1 the count. A pair of hits here in the 6th have things moving ahead for the Steamers. They had 2 hits back in the first. It was the inning they scored their only run on a single from Jeremiah Boyd. Here's the 0-1 from Batchmore. On the outside corner, strike 2 to Kermode. Kermode, one of the few guys that hasn't seen this expanded zone yet. It's his first at bat of the night. Here's the 0-2. Kermode swings and misses, strike 3. Two outs now here in the 6th. That'll bring Jared Beebe back up to the plate. Beebe floated a single out into center field his last time up. 2 outs, trailing by a run, but Chase Bruno over at second. We know the speed he has. Bruno stole a bag last night, and now we're going to have a meeting out at the mound.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Head coach Ryan Smoot out there to chat with Jack Batchmore. Not a very long conversation there between Smoot and Batchmore, maybe trying to calm things down. One of the biggest moments of this game. As Beebe's got a big chance to make a big play here. 2 outs in the 6th, 2 runners on. Beebe leaves that first pitch. It's across for a strike, 0-1 the count. Beebe in his only at bat last night hit a home run. He's 1 for 2 today. The 0-1 pitch is fouled down the first base side. 0-2 now the count to Beebe. Beebe hit nearly 300 and had a 408 on base percentage. The Steamers really looking for one of those options right now. Batchmore, he's ready to pitch. Outside, 1-2. Beebe knocked in 25 runs in his freshman season over at Barton College. 1-2, he'll smash that one out towards center. Ranging back is Padgett. He's there at the edge of the track, and he'll make the catch. The Steamers strand 2 in the 6th. We'll head to the top half of the 7th. The Bigfoots still lead 2-1. Every year, the Steamers are proud to have the opportunity to raise money for the Jim Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation. On Saturday, July 16th, the Steamers will wear special themed jerseys that'll be auctioned off during the game. Proceeds will go towards the fight to strike out ALS. Catfish Hunter is a Major League Baseball Hall of Fame pitcher that lived just a short distance from historic Hicks Field and was even a host family for the Steamers organization in its inaugural year. Unfortunately, he lost his battle with ALS over 20 years ago, and the Steamers will continue to carry on his legacy and do their part to strike out ALS. We thank you for your support of this great cause. Is your kid a fan of the Clam? Why not sign them up for the Steamers Kids Club, presented by Weatherly Insurance. Membership is free for kids all ages 12 and under. They receive 4 free tickets, a club t-shirt, a discount to baseball camp, and an invitation to an exclusive meet and greet event with the players. You can visit EdentonSteamers.com and download a registration form today. Cameron Lewis back out on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. Came in relief of Bryce Stevens. And that first pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. Tyson Bass leading us off here in the 7th. The cleanup man cleaned up the bases back in his last at bat, a 2-run home run. That's the difference in this game. That one floats in there for a ball, 2-0. Bass hit that one out towards left field over the Teal Monster. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Lewis's pitch. A bit low, 3-0. Lewis did a good job back in the 6th, rebounding from a 5th inning where he couldn't find much of the strike zone. Did a good job of throwing strikes in inning number 6. 3-0 pitch in there for a strike, 3-1 the count. Bass took a step towards first base, hoping maybe he could convince the home plate umpire. Here's the 3-1. That one floats in there for a strike, 3-2. Lewis mixing up the speeds a bit, and he works back into a full count. Tyson Bass over at 3rd base tonight for the Bigfoots. The 3-2. And that one just missed. Ball for the 2nd walk of the game for Lewis. And Bass is aboard for the 2nd time tonight. And that'll bring up Walter Monday. Not a great night for Monday so far. 2 swinging strikeouts to his name. But he's got a runner aboard and nobody out. That one's in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Bigfoots 2 runs tonight on only 2 hits. Scored both of those runs back in the 4th. Lewis is set. The 1-0 pitch. Hit over to short. Bruno's got it. He'll take it to the bag himself for 1. Over to first, a double play. A big defensive play from Chase Bruno. It's the second double play that Cameron Lewis has forced on the mound. A big play there to clear the bases as Drifton Paget will come up to the plate. Paget made the catch that ended the 6th inning out in deep center field. And he leaves that one out for a ball, 1-0. He was the first batter Lewis faced in this game. He walked to get aboard before eventually being struck down by the first double play that Lewis forced. And that one's in the dirt, 2-0 the count. Now to Paget. Paget out in center field today. One of 2 Pagets on the Bigfoots. Chandler Paget, the right-handed pitcher, on the squad as well. Is still yet to see him. And that one's lined right at Bruno. He'll make the catch and wrap up the top half of the 7th. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. The Steamers looking to put together a rally. The Bigfoots lead 2-1. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field as we enter the bottom half of the 7th. The Steamers still trailing 2-1, but we've got a pitching change for the Bigfoots. The right-hander Jasper Dubberly enters the mound in relief of Jack Batchmore, who went 6 innings, struck out 8, allowed just 1 run. That was way back in the 1st inning. Dubberly out of Augusta University, the junior right-hander, pitched in 18 games this season. Pitched 19 innings, an ERA a bit over 10. And he's the second pitcher out on the mound for the Bigfoots tonight as the Steamers look to mount a bit of a rally. It'll be Tate Abbott coming up to the plate first for Edenton. He's 0 for 2 with a hard hit ball down the line in his last at bat that was called foul. He struck out looking and grounded into a double play. And he'll look to get things started here against Dubberly. First pitch is inside, 1-0 the count. We'll see Dubberly already holding the ball in his hand for a bit. He's already a bit slower than the pace of Jack Batchmore, as that one's inside again. Nearly got Abbott's feet. It's 2-0 the count. Steamers have tallied 5 hits tonight compared to the Bigfoots 2. Well, the Bigfoots have made the most of their hits. A 2-1 lead here in the bottom half of the 7th. Abbott goes the other way with it out to left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. It's cut off before it gets to the wall by Paget. Abbott takes a wide turn. He'll hold it first. And a leadoff single for Tate Abbott. Puts the Steamers once again with a runner on and nobody out. And that'll bring in Jackson Hipp. One of the substitutions made in the 6th inning for Edenton. And Hipp swings at the first pitch he sees, fouls it straight back, 0-1. Hipp started last night out in right field, had a solid day. Had a leadoff double, eventually came around to score in the Steamers' 5-1 win over the Clovers. Hipp swings and misses at pitch number 2. He's down in the count 0-2. Abbott over at first, a leadoff single the other way. Here's the 0-2 from Dubberly. And that one's a bit outside. Barker tried to bring it back over the plate. It's a 1-2 count. Dubberly peeks over at Abbott at first. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped over to first. Making the play is Monday. He'll just take it to the bag to retire Hipp, but he does move Abbott over to second and into scoring position.
Number 14, Hunter Cole.
Hunter Cole up to the plate. Looking for his first hit of the season. Went 0 for 3 last night. Had an absolutely tattooed ball out towards right field that was tracked down in the outfield. But he's got an opportunity with a runner in scoring position. That one's way outside. Nice play by Barker to handle it. 1-0 the count. Cole, last season's Giesecke Award winner. Granted to the Steamers MVP. Dubberly takes a look at second. The 1-0 inside to Cole. 2-0 the count. Cole out of Randolph-Macon College. Hit .424 this spring. He continued his hot play from last summer. He's ahead in the count 2-0. And a big swing and a miss from Cole. 2-1 the count. In 27 games, Cole racked up 28 hits back in the summer of 2021. Still ahead in the count against Dubberly. And they try and pick off Abbott. He's back in safely. Abbott was dancing, trying to get the attention of Dubberly, and Dubberly sort of took him up on his offer, throwing back to second, and Abbott with a good job getting in there before the tag from Seiler. Boy, that was a close play at second. Would hate to lose a runner in scoring position on a pickoff attempt. 2-1 the count, still to Cole. Dubberly set. Here's the pitch. That one is popped up in the infield. Ranging over to get it is Bass. He'll make the catch. There's 2 down here in the 7th. How to bring Nate Paulson up to the plate. In for Davis Halstead, who went 0 for 2 in his 2 at-bats today. Paulson had a pair of hits last night, an RBI single, and he added a walk as well. One of the many Steamers that enjoyed success last night in Clayton. He'll leave that first pitch up and away, 1-0 the count. And Barker will go out to have a conversation with Dubberly. A bit of an extended trip out there. Abbott in conversation with Josh Seiler, the shortstop for the Bigfoots, who was the one that tried to apply the tag on that pickoff attempt. 1-0 the count, 2 down here in the 7th. The pitch chopped over towards second base. Reese is over to get it. Throw to first is in time. The Steamers get the leadoff man aboard, but they strand him over at second. We head to the 8th. It's the Bigfoots 2, the Steamers 1. The Steamers are proud to announce a newfound partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of the Albemarle. This season will mark our first annual jersey fundraiser for the organization. To coincide with our Chowan County Cantaloupes moniker, we will be wearing special themed jerseys on all home Tuesdays at historic Hicks Field. At our final home Tuesday on July 19th, we will be auctioning off the Cantaloupes jerseys. All proceeds will go towards the summer programs that benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Albemarle. We would like to extend a huge thank you to RC Theaters Albemarle Movies 8 for their sponsorship and support of the Boys and Girls Club. Thank you for your support of a great cause. Chris Morris making his debut out on the mound for the Steamers. Comes in relief of Cameron Lewis, who went 3 scoreless innings to keep the Steamers' deficit at just 1. Here in the top half of the 8th, a run hasn't been scored in this game since the Bigfoots put up 2 back in the 4th on a 2-run home run from Tyson Bass. The Steamers' only run came back in the 1st inning on an RBI single off the bat of Jeremiah Boyd, who started at catcher. Leading off for the Bigfoots will be Dallas Trevina, the designated hitter. First pitch from Morris is up high, 1-0. Morris pitched in 10 games over at Pitt Community College, an ERA just under 3. The 1-0 pitch. It's on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Morris, another one of those two-way guys here at Edenton for the summer. He hit in 29 games and pitched, as I mentioned, in 10. Just over 26 innings this spring. As that one, it's a check swing. They call it a strike on the swing, 1-2 the count. Again, Morris just trying to do the job and hold the deficit at just 1 for Edenton. Steamers due to have the top half of the lineup back up in the bottom half of the 8th as that one's outside. 2-2 the count. Kermode back there behind the plate for the Steamers. Came in relief of Jeremiah Boyd, who played the first 5 innings, knocked in the only run for the Clams. The 2-2 from Morris up high, full count. It's Morris's first appearance of the season. With 4 guys pitching yesterday, Justin Hill's thrown a new trio of pitchers out there tonight. And there's a swing and a miss from Trevina. A strikeout for Morris on the first batter he faces. 1 down here in the 8th. Morris will face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in this inning. Josh Seiler hitting 8th. Up to the plate, struck out his first time up, hit into a double play, and at bat number 2. He shows bunt, and then he gets hit by the pitch. He yanked the bat back and took the ball to his back. And that'll put a runner aboard for the Bigfoots with 1 down here in the 8th. That one got a bit away from Morris a bit. And Seiler's aboard for the first time tonight. The second batter the Steamers have hit with a pitch tonight. Cameron Lewis hit Dallas Trevino a few innings ago. And a swing and a foul tip straight back on the first pitch to Jaden Barker. Barker hitting 9th and catching for the Bigfoots tonight. He's grounded out in each of his first 2 at-bats. Seiler a couple of strides off first. Here's the pitch. That one's up high, 1-1. Morris is set. Here's the 1-1. Barker shows bunt. It's right in front of the plate. Kermode's over to get it. A tough throw to first is in time. An impressive play from Kermode as he's able to throw out Barker at first. A big out, 2 down here in the 8th. But Seiler does advance into scoring position. The top half of the lineup back up for the Bigfoots. Tylen Reese up to the plate. He struck out twice and doubled in his 3 at-bats. And he swings at the first pitch he sees, sends that one into the left center field gap. That'll go all the way to the wall. Seiler will stroll on home. Reese is into second with his second double of the night. And it's a big insurance run for the Bigfoots. They now lead 3-1. The man playing second has a pair of 2-baggers tonight for the Bigfoots. And with the Steamers struggling to get over the hump of a 1-run deficit, that is a big hit. That one a bit inside, a ball to Matthew Mccowan. Mccowan 0 for 3 on the night. A pair of strikeouts, flew out in his last at bat. He's got a runner down at second and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. He'll leave that one outside. 2-0. Morris with Cottle standing behind that second base bag. That one's outside. 3-0 now the count. It's the first run that the Bigfoots have scored since the 4th. The Steamers have been held scoreless since putting up their only run back in the 1st. The 3-0, that one will be taken for a called strike. A bit of a delayed call as Mccowan was already taking a few steps towards first. 3-1 the count. Here's the pitch from Morris. Fouled back, 3-2. Morris has worked his way back into the count. He was down 3-0. Looking for a big out here to bring back the Steamers' top of the lineup in the bottom of the 8th. Full count pitch, swung on and slashed out of play down the first base side. And we'll do it again. It'll be Chase Bruno leading off for the Steamers in the bottom half of the 8th. And you know Justin Hill and Chris Morris would love for the deficit to stay at just 2. That one is skied. Right side again. Abbott in foul territory ranging over, and that one will float out of play. A battle of an at-bat between Mccowan and Morris. Mccowan hit .337 this spring at George Washington. Here's the full count. Runners off and going, and it's a called strike 3. A great job working back by Chris Morris. He strikes out Mccowan, and that'll take us to the bottom of the 8th. The Bigfoots add a run. It's Boone 3, Edenton 1. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field for this matchup between the Boone Bigfoots and the Edenton Steamers. It's the Steamers' second exhibition game so far of the season, winning last night in Clayton 5-1. The Bigfoots are the second of 3 teams the Steamers will play in exhibition contests this season. The Clayton Clovers last night, the Boone Bigfoots today, and the Wake Forest Fungo later this season. Top of the lineup back up for the Steamers, trailing by 2 here in the 8th. It's Chase Bruno looking to get to Jasper Dubberly. First pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Bruno 1 for 3 tonight. Reached on an error his first time up, struck out and singled in his last at bat. That one's up high, 2-0 to Bruno. The Steamers just looking for a base runner at this point, still haven't scored since the first. Bruno's ready. Here's the 2-0 from Dubberly. That one is sent back up the middle. Backhanded by Reese, and it went off of his glove and into center field. A big play and a big hit there for Bruno. His second hit of the night. And the Steamers are again with a leadoff runner on. It was Tate Abbott in the last inning, and now it's Chase Bruno. Alden Cottle will step up to the plate. It's the 7th hit of the night for Edenton. Out of the stretch, that pitch is up high from Dubberly, 1-0. Cottle 0 for 3 tonight. Reached base his first time up on a fielder's choice. Here's the 1-0. That one's up and in. 2-0 the count to Cottle. And now Tylen Reese over from second is going to come out to have a conversation with Dubberly, and now trots out Barker. They'll both be joined by head coach Ryan Smoot. A big meeting here at the mound with the Steamers down 2. Cottle ahead in this count 2-0. And Chase Bruno with some speed over at first. Bruno's been able to show his speed the last couple of nights. He stole a base last night. Not sure if he'd put himself in that much danger tonight with the Steamers trailing by 2. And Cottle at the plate being the tying run. Dubberly came into this one in relief of Jack Batchmore, who went 6 innings, allowed just 1 run, and struck out 8. Dubberly, it's his second inning of relief. And he tries to pick off Bruno. He throws it up against the fence. Bruno's going to take second base standing. And the Steamers have a runner in scoring position now with nobody out. After that long meeting at the mound, Dubberly still might be a bit flustered. Threw that one way over the head of Monday over at first. Now Monday's 5'10", and that ball was thrown about 7 feet high. The 2-0 to Cottle. Outside, it's dropped. Bruno's going to head for third. Barker slips and falls, and Chase Bruno has taken another bag. A couple of defensive slip-ups for the Bigfoots. Alert base running there from Chase Bruno. A leadoff single, and now he's over at third before the at-bat even ends. This is a big spot for Cottle. Ahead in the count 3-0 with a runner over at third. Nobody out. Steamers trail by 2. Dubberly's 3-0. In for a strike. A big pitch there from Dubberly. Dubberly's ready. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss from Cottle, 3-2. A big job by Dubberly to work back into the count. He was down 2-0. They had a big meeting at the mound. He proceeded to throw the ball over down the right field line on a pickoff attempt. The next pitch was dropped by Barker, and Bruno took 2 bases. The 3-2 up and in. They're going to say Cottle didn't go. They check over at first. A big at-bat for Alden Cottle. He walks to put runners at first and third with nobody out. Not many guys you'd want at the plate other than Houston Wright. Nobody out. Runners at the corners for the former Premier Collegiate League MVP. Wright with 2 hits already tonight. Swings and misses at the first pitch he saw. Wright, the biggest moment of the night. The pitch swung and hit the opposite way and fouled on the third base line. 0-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
Wright had a pair of hits last night, including a double. And he's got a pair of singles today, starting in the designated hitter spot in back-to-back nights. The 0-2 to Wright. Up way high. He'll take that one. 1-2 the count. Chase Bruno over at third. Alden Cottle at first, representing the tying run. The Bigfoots added a bit of insurance in the top of the 8th to extend the lead to 2. Here's the pitch. And time was called before the pitch, and it's a balk. A balk is called. Chase Bruno will trot home. Alden Cottle will take second. And the Steamers have cut the deficit to 1. It's now 3-2 Bigfoots. Call came from the second base umpire, and now the tying run is in scoring position with nobody out. Houston right at the plate. Justin Hill coaching third, giving instructions to Cottle. Here's the pitch. Inside, 2-2 the count. Now to right. Houston Wrights worked back from an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch from Dubberly, and he'll step off and fakes a throw back to second. Cottle didn't have a very big lead over there. Dubberly set. Here's the pitch. Wright swings and misses at a pitch that was up near his head. It's a strikeout. And it's the first out of the inning. A big strikeout, but the Steamers do bring a run home in the at-bat. And that'll bring up Case Kermode, batting in the spot of Jeremiah Boyd, who started this game. Kermode struck out in his only at-bat today. Runner in scoring position, still only 1 out. Kermode swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. 0-1 the count. Dubberly started off this inning a bit flustered, trying to reel it back in. A big strikeout of Houston Wright. Wright's second strikeout of the night, and now it's Case Kermode's time to try and be a hero for the Steamers. The pitch way high. It goes all the way to the backstop, and Cottle advances to third. No throw from Barker. Cottle just 90 feet away from tying this game up, a 1-1 count for Case Kermode. Justin Hill in conversation with Case Kermode. They practiced a lot of situational hitting and defense over these first few days of practice before the season began. Kermode, as that one's taken for a strike, 1-2. Infielder shifted in for the Bigfoots, not all the way on the grass at short and third, but at second, Tylen Reese is right up against that infield grass. Here's the 1-2. Kermode leaves it, 2-2 the count. Case Kermode with an even count. Infield in. Steamers down 1. Leaves that one up high. And it's a full count to Case Kermode. Kermode back for his 3rd season in Edenton. Looking to make the big play. Here's the full count pitch. Taken outside, ball 4. Runners at the corners. It's Kermode at first and Cottle at third. Jared Beebe up to the plate. Runners at the corners, and Justin Hill has some words of advice for Beebe. And there's a meeting out at the mound, and we're going to have a pitching change for the Bigfoots. Runners at the corners, only 1 out. Steamers trail by 1. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Historic Hicks Field. We just had a pitching change here for the Bigfoots. Boone came into the 8th with a 2-1 lead. They added an insurance run in the top half, but Chase Bruno came all the way around to score. And it's now a one-run game again. Runners at the corners for Jared Beebe. Entering the game is Travis Shoemate, the right-hander out of Lynchburg University. Shoemate appeared in 18 games this spring, an ERA just under 4. And he'll be facing Jared Beebe. Beebe 1 for 3 today, singled back in his second at bat. Beebe, no stranger to a late inning hit. Hit a solo home run in his only at bat last night. Came in the 8th inning against the Clovers. It's Alden Cottle over at third. He reached on a walk. And it's Case Kermode over at first, who also walked. Runners at the corners, only one out. Here's the pitch. Beebe leaves it outside, 1-0. The 1-0 to Beebe. A big swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. We saw with Kermode at the plate, the infield was ranging towards the grass, and now they've moved back into double play position. Middle infielder shaded towards second. Shoemate's 1-1. Taken for a strike. Looked like it might have been a bit low. It's a 1-2 count to Jared Beebe. Trying to play the hero here for the Steamers, trailing by a run in the 8th. Here's the 1-2. Beebe leaves it up high. Good eye. It's 2-2. We saw Wright chase after one of those and strike out earlier in the inning. Bruno still scored within that at bat on a balk. The 2-2 to Beebe. He leaves it in the dirt. They check, no swing. Steamers down a run. Full count to Beebe. Runners at the corners. It's Cottle at third, Kermode at first. The 3-2 pitch. Inside it, hit Beebe. He turned away, took it on the left shoulder. And the bases are loaded. That'll bring up Tate Abbott. All 3 runners on base right now have reached without a hit. Cottle walked. He's at third. Kermode walked. He's at second. And Beebe was hit by a pitch. He's at first. Cottle represents the tying run over at third. Abbott up at the plate, 1 for 3 on the day. The first pitch to Abbott. He'll leave it low, ball 1. Abbott singled in his last at bat. The starting first baseman for back-to-back days for Justin Hill. The 1-0. He tried to check his swing. He went around. It's a 1-1 count. A bit of sarcastic applause over from the Bigfoots dugout. And Abbott is set for the 1-1 pitch. Bases loaded. Steamers down by 1. The 1-1. Abbott fouls it straight back into the netting. 1-2 the count. Abbott up at the plate. Jackson Hipp waiting on deck. Abbott has mentioned not a lot of at-bats prior to this summer. Only 6 at-bats since March. Trying to make the most of his time this summer with the Steamers. The 1-2 pitch. Abbott checks his swing. They say he went. It's a strikeout. A big strikeout for Travis Shoemate. Gets Abbott swinging, and that'll bring up Jackson Hipp. Hipp, one of those substitutions tonight. Came on in relief of Brantley Cutler, who started out in right field today. And Shoemate wants a new baseball. He'll get it. 2 outs here in the 8th. Base is loaded for Hipp. Hipp grounded out his first time up. The Steamers have already got one back in this inning. They trailed 3-1. The first pitch to Hipp. He sends that one back towards the middle, ranging in, and it's going to drop for a base hit. 1 run's home. Kermode's around third, heading for home. He is safe! A 2-run single for Jackson Hipp. Puts the Steamers ahead 4-3. It's a 3-run inning for the Steamers, and Jackson Hipp with the late game heroics. Cottle came in from third. Kermode made a fantastic read out at second. He came all the way around to score, and now we'll have a meeting at the mound before Hunter Cole can come to the plate. An absolutely clutch hit for Jackson Hipp. Knocked in 21 runs last season for the Steamers. And he gets a pair of huge runs batted in there. 8 hits in the game for the Steamers. They're riding a 3-run 8th. Ryan Smoot out there for his 3rd mound meeting of the inning. He made a pitching change in his 2nd visit of the inning, bringing in Travis Shoemate for Jasper Dubberly. Dubberly was responsible for the runners aboard. And those 2 are charged to him. That one's a bit outside. 1-0 the count to reflect there's still 2 runners in scoring position. It's Beebe at third, and Hipp did a great job moving over to second on the throw home. 2 outs for Hunter Cole. He leaves that one in the dirt, 2-0. Hunter Cole popped out to the infield his first time up, still looking for his first hit of the young season. With the Steamers ahead by just 1. The pitch. Cole leaves it outside. 3-0 the count. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, 3-0 count to Cole. Nate Paulson waiting in the wings on deck. Here's the 3-0 to Cole. He lets that one come across for a strike. 3-1 the count. Hunter Cole back for his 2nd season here in Edenton. Pops that one up third base side. Bass over to get it on the foul line, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. But a 3-run bottom of the 8th inning. The Steamers lead 4-3. We head to the 9th. Edenton ahead by 1. Hello and welcome back to historic Hicks Field. An exciting finish to this one. The Steamers put up 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th to take the 4-3 lead. And now coming in for the 9th, right-hander Gage Riddick. Technically a returner, played just 1 game at Edenton last season before an injury struck. Riddick looking to close out game number 2, and he got here about 7 or 8 hours ago. He got here today. Weren't sure if we were going to see him in his first day in Edenton, and he is out there on the mound looking to close things out. The second consecutive night, the Steamers have thrown 4 different players out there on the mound. Chris Morris was the 3rd. He pitched in the 8th inning, allowed 1 run, but was able to work out of more trouble and allow the Steamers the chance to come back and take the lead. Dylan Baycott up to lead things off in the 9th for the Bigfoots, trailing by 1. Baycott struck out twice tonight. A meeting out at the mound between Kermode and Riddick, and we're ready to go here in the 9th. Kermode's pitch to Baycott. In there for a strike, 0-1. This spring, Riddick pitched in 10 games for Eastern Mennonite University, and he gets a big swing and a miss there. It's 0-2. Riddick pitched over 32 innings, had 21 strikeouts racked up. Looking to get through just 1 scoreless inning here at historic Hicks Field. The 0-2 is a bit low, 1-2 the count. The 1-2 to Baycott. In the dirt again, 2-2 the count. Baycott's evened up the count. Baycott's lost a couple of battles tonight. His 2 strikeouts have come on longer counts. And that one's in the dirt again. A full count to Baycott. Baycott struck out 45 times in 51 games this spring. And here's the full count pitch. Inside, ball 4. A big walk for Dylan Baycott. Works back from an 0-2 count, 4 straight balls. And the tying run is aboard for the Bigfoots. And that'll bring up a dangerous man, Tyson Bass, to the plate. Hit a 2-run home run back in the 4th. That initially put the Bigfoots ahead 2-1. With his team down 1, he's got the tying run at first. He leaves that one high. 5 consecutive balls from Gage Riddick. Bass walked his last time up. That was against Cameron Lewis a pair of pitchers ago for the Steamers. And that one's in for a strike. Kermode really held that one on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. The Steamers have shown 8 different pitchers over the last 2 nights to begin the season. The 1-1 pitch from Riddick, number 8, and that one's outside, ball 2. The Steamers won last night in Clayton in the season opener 5-1. And the home opener tonight, they've shown a lot of resilience in front of a large home crowd. The pitch at the bottom half of the zone, 2-2. It's Baycott over at first. He reached on a walk. Tyson Bass up to the plate. He's reached twice today. But the Bigfoots down a run. The 2-2. Swung on and sliced down the right field line. Abbott gives chase, and it'll drop foul towards the Bigfoots bullpen. A couple of lengthy at-bats here, get a bit longer. The home plate umpire wiping off the plate. Gotta see it clearly down the stretch. Trying to make his job a little bit easier as Bass steps back into the box. 2-2 against Riddick. Tying run over at first and Baycott. Here's the pitch. Baycott's off and running. A check swing. It's a strike 3 called, and the runner is safe at second. Baycott steals second as Bass strikes out. And Riddick's able to get the first out of the 9th, but the runner moves into scoring position. Dylan Baycott. Baycott stole 6 bags this spring, and he makes a gutsy decision, but it pays off. That'll bring Walter Monday to the plate. Tying run at second. The pitch from Riddick. Taken for a strike, 0-1. And now a lengthy conversation over at the Bigfoots dugout, as Kermode will go and have a conversation with Riddick. Riddick in his first appearance of the season for the Steamers. A reminder, he got here at about 1 or 2 o'clock during the day and weren't sure if we were going to see him tonight. Justin Hill trusting Riddick to go out there and close out a 1-run ball game. He walked the first man. He saw Baycott. He struck out the second batter in Tyson Bass. But amidst the strikeout, Baycott was able to steal second. Maybe a conversation with Baycott on what the plan is if the ball goes to the outfield. A lengthy conversation, and we're back underway. An 0-1 count to Walter Monday. Monday's 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out twice and grounded into a double play his last time up. And that one loops in there for a strike. Nice pitch from Riddick. It's an 0-2 count. Bruno claps his glove behind Baycott. Riddick is set. The 0-2. And it's just tipped and fouled back by Monday. He stays alive. Kermode punches his glove knowing how close they were to that swing and miss. We're seeing Riddick work with a bit of off speed here against Monday. A couple of pitches that have looped in, and Monday barely got a piece of that one. We'll do it again. The 0-2 pitch coming to Monday with Baycott down at second. Monday out in front, chops it over to Avid. He'll take it to first himself. 2 down here in the 9th. Baycott advances to third. The tying run over at third as Driftin Paget, the last man standing here for the Bigfoots, looking to be a hero here for Boone. Gage is ready. Here's the pitch. That one drifts a bit outside. 1-0 the count. Baycott had a leadoff walk to get to first, stole second, and he advances to third on the ground out from Monday. Here's the 1-0 from Riddick. Taken for a strike on the inner half, 1-1. Riddick wipes some dirt on his right hand, trying to gain control. 1 out away from the save, and the Steamers advancing to 2-0. Baycott represents the tying run over at third. Here's the 1-1. And he shows bunt for a moment, takes it back, 1-2. Driftin Paget might have been trying to throw Riddick off, but I think he showed it a little too late. Pitch was really already on its way, and now he's down in the count, 1-2. 2 outs here in the 9th. Steamers lead by 1. Riddick trying to slam the door, and Paget calls for time. We'll do it again. Steamers ahead by 1. 1-2 the count. Tying run at third. Here's the pitch. Looped out towards center. Running in is Paulson. He's under it. And he makes the catch. The Steamers stage a 3-run 8th inning and come back to win it 4-3. Gage Riddick comes in to shut the door in the 9th. And it's an exciting home opener win here at historic Hicks Field as the Steamers move to 2-0. An impressive win for Edenton. We'll be right back with a post-game interview. It's the Steamers winning it 4-3 in the home opener at historic Hicks Field.